Good morning, St. Martin. I'm Yesenia Lassero.
And I'm Austin Lawrence.
And welcome to another edition of St. Martin News Desk.
Brought to you by TV15.
We're bringing the latest and most important stories around the island and beyond.
I know we want to get to the weekend as fast as possible. This week was crazy with the news. So let's jump into our top headlines.
A major disturbance at Point Blanche Prison on Wednesday, May 14th, led to a full-scale emergency response and the deployment of military support. The Ministry of Justice convened an urgent crisis meeting with the St. Martin Police Force leadership after a fire broke out inside the facility. Firefighters, ambulance teams, police, VKS officers, and the Koninkrijk Marasuche were all dispatched and had the situation under control by 6 p.m. 3 individuals sustained minor injuries and were all treated on site. All inmates were accounted for and are safe. Justice Minister, the Honorable Natalie Tacklin, visited the prison and has officially requested military assistance to maintain order and enhance security at the facility. This is a serious threat, and we are acting with full force and urgency to ensure public safety, the minister said. She thanked all emergency personnel for their swift and effective response. In the aftermath, the police union NAPB St. Martin voiced serious concerns about the safety of responding officers. According to NAPB President Marcus Pantoflet, police were sent into the riot without confirmation of valid insurance coverage, exposing them to unacceptable risk. This is a betrayal of their service and sacrifice, said Pantoflet, calling for immediate corrective action from the Ministry of Justice. NAPB is demanding that no officer be deployed into high-risk situations without guaranteed insurance. The union also praised its members for their courage and professionalism in restoring order. They are now calling on the government to review all insurance protocols and ensure full coverage is in place moving forward. Further updates are expected from the Ministry of Justice as more verified information becomes available.
On Tuesday, May 14, detectives from the St. Martin Police Force arrested a suspect believed to be connected to an ongoing shooting investigation. A subsequent search of the suspect's home uncovered a firearm and several rounds of ammunition, which were confiscated. Authorities have not disclosed further details due to the sensitivity of the case. This arrest comes amid heightened concerns over gun violence across the island. The Ministry of Justice is taking a firm stance, with Minister the Honorable Natalie Tacklin declaring a zero-tolerance policy for illegal firearms and related crimes. We will not tolerate the spread of illegal firearms nor the culture of fear they bring, she stated. The crackdown includes enhanced enforcement and prevention coordinated through KPSM and the prosecutor's office. One key measure is the Stop, Drop, and Go Amnesty Program, which has been extended through May 16th. This initiative allows individuals to surrender firearms anonymously and without penalty. KPSM has also ramped up operations to dismantle criminal networks while invested in school officers, youth outreach, and early intervention programs. A weapon in the hand of a child is a line that should never be crossed, Minister Tacklin said, referencing the recent arrest of a minor carrying a gun on a school bus. To counter rising gun violence, the ministry is strengthening regional cooperation with the French side and neighboring islands like Anguilla. Efforts include improved border controls, intelligence sharing, and cracking down on arms smuggling. The ministry also plans to meet with the Indian Merchant Association following recent targeted crimes and assures the business community that safety is a priority. Minister Tacklin emphasized that public safety is a shared responsibility. In that spirit, the Justice Ministry's cabinet will participate in SXM Doot this weekend, joining citizens in volunteer projects as a show of solidarity and commitment to community-based crime prevention. The St. Martin Police Force has issued a strong warning to the public regarding a disturbing video circulating on social media involving a minor in a sexually explicit act. Authorities are reminding everyone that possessing, sharing, or distributing such content is a criminal offense under St. Martin law. This behavior is not only illegal, it is deeply harmful, KPSM said in a statement released Tuesday morning. It causes lasting psychological trauma to the minor involved and reflects a severe breakdown in community values. KPSM is urging the public to stop the spread of the video immediately. Anyone who has received or seen the video is strongly encouraged to report it to the authorities rather than forward or discuss it further online. The police emphasized that minors need protection, not exploitation or humiliation. They warned that continued distribution could result in prosecution. Protect our children, respect our laws, uphold our values, the statement concluded, underscoring the need for collective community responsibility.
As St. Martin prepares to host the highly anticipated Soul Beach Festival 2025, the police force, KPSM, has announced a series of safety and traffic measures to ensure smooth operations and public order throughout the event. The festival will run from Wednesday, May 21st to Monday, May 26th, attracting international artists, DJs, tourists, and locals to the venues across the island, including Festival Village, Mullet Bay, Maho, and Madam Estate. To manage the expected crowds and increased traffic, KPSM will deploy additional officers to key locations. Security will be heightened with visible patrols, crowd patrol units, and close coordination with private event security to manage entrances and maintain secure perimeters. Traffic measures will include temporary road closures and diversions during peak hours. Police officers will be stationed to direct traffic and reduce congestion. The public is urged to follow all signage and instructions and avoid unnecessary travel through high traffic areas during the events. KPSM is also encouraging residents and visitors to plan ahead, allow extra travel time, and report any suspicious activities immediately. Our goal is to provide a safe, enjoyable environment for everyone attending Soul Beach 2025, a police statement noted. We ask for your cooperation to help keep the island safe during this major event.
Let's put everything on the table. People always give their opinion, and you can either take it or crunch it. Let them judge. We give in to the most irresistible flavor. We devour every nugget that falls in our hands, especially when it's our crunchy fried chicken. And let the crumbs fly if needed. Let them keep judging. We'll keep indulging. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Hello, my people. Make sure you tune in to Sit, Sip, and Chat every Monday at 5 p.m. on TV 15 and every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m.
And make sure tune in to the Late Night Show with Andrew Dick from Monday to Friday at 10 p.m. with a repeat in the afternoon for no reason. In the afternoon, the Late Night Show at 3 p.m. Thank you, TV 15.
Thank you, TV 15. Make sure to tune in.
Make sure to tune in to the Late Night.
And Sit, Sip, and Chat.
Late Night.
The Ministry of Education, Culture, Youth and Sports, ECYS, has strongly condemned the possession of illegal weapons and drugs by students, calling such actions a direct threat to safety and well-being of schools and communities. In response to a recent incident, the ministry reaffirmed its zero-tolerance policy against firearms, drugs, and other controlled substances in schools or on school-related transportation. These actions are illegal and unacceptable, the ministry said. They undermine the integrity of our education system and the safety of our children. The ministry also expressed full support for the Ministry of Justice, which is leading an investigation into the incident. The ministry urged parents, guardians, and teachers to remain alert, report any suspicious behavior, and engage in open conversations with youth about the dangers of weapons and narcotics. Our commitment to safe and secure learning environments is non-negotiable, the statement read. We must all work together to ensure school remains safe, respectful, and drug-free spaces for every child.
Sustained injuries in a fire that broke out inside an abandoned bus at the old post office parking lot on the Broad Street just before 4 p.m. on Tuesday, May 14th. Emergency services, including police, firefighters, and ambulance personnel, responded swiftly to the scene. A male victim suffered burn injuries to his lower extremities, while a female victim sustained undetermined injuries. Initial reports indicate the victims had been living in the abandoned bus and were reportedly cooking when the fire ignited. Both were treated on site by paramedics and later transported to St. Martin Medical Center for further care. Firefighters successfully contained and extinguished the blaze. The cause of the fire remains under investigation, with detectives and forensic teams actively gathering evidence. Authorities have not released the names of the victims, and no foul play has been confirmed at this stage. The Ministry of Romy has announced a full road closure on a section of Walter A. Nisbet Road to facilitate road marking works under the Asphalt Road Resurfacing Project 2023-2024. The closure will take place from 8 p.m. on Sunday, May 18th until 5 a.m. on Monday, May 19th, affecting the stretch between Percy LaBega Street and the traffic stoplights. Motorists heading east toward Point Blanche, the Boardwalk, or the Emancipation Monument, and those traveling west toward Bush Road and Simpson Bay are advised to use Canagita Street as an alternate route. These essential works are part of ongoing efforts to improve road safety and infrastructure in Phillipsburg. Romy apologizes for any inconvenience caused and encourages the public to plan accordingly during the closure hours. For further inquiries, contact the Department of Infrastructure at 542-4292 extension 2387 or email publicworks@stmartingov.org.
Princess Juliana International Airport has donated 3 generators to key government facilities under SOG to help strengthen the island's emergency response capacity. The donation comes as the EOC's existing generator is being replaced due to reliability issues. These locations are critical during hurricane season and other emergencies, said PGIA CEO Michael Cleaver. This is a meaningful way we can contribute to the safety and well-being of St. Martin. Technical Director Giovanni Van Weyck coordinated the delivery, highlighted PGIA's ongoing commitment to community resilience.
The deadline to submit 2024 income tax return forms A and B has been extended to June 30th, 2025. Invitations are being sent by regular mail. If you don't receive one, you must request it. Forms are available online at the Government of St. Martin's website. Taxpayers must submit forms in person at the Tax Administration Office located in the Vineyard Building. Online or email submissions are not accepted. For proof of submission, bring a copy to be stamped. Taxpayers who need an extension must request it before June 30th, 2025. another level. What is it?
Guess what? I got an idea. It's amazing. You see how we have the link sharing all everywhere?
QR link,
the
yeah.
QR link.
Yeah.
Raw Caribbean Channel app. Yeah. You're welcome. Put it in the back.
But it's not an app though. It's not an app. App you have to like download something to get it on your phone, take up space. It's not an app.
It's like an app. Therefore, it can be an app. So, it's an app. Raw Caribbean TV app. Say it with me, Al. Come on.
It's not an app though. All you gotta do with that, it's a link. You take the link, you hit the bookmark, you say add to home screen, and so it shows up like an app icon, but it's not an app though.
Are you a real person? It is an app because you get to watch all the programs from Raw Caribbean at one place. It is an app.
I don't know how to explain this to you, but factually and technically, it's not an app. Kind of like we do the news, facts,
Yeah.
and you do that thing you do.
Whoa.
Point being, you just go to the QR, you hit bookmarks, and you hit add to home screen, and then you can have the link to, let's give it another name.
The app.
You want to call it the app?
Raw Caribbean TV app.
Jess.
Yes.
Jess, please, give some sense, Jess. Jess.
It's kind of like an app.
That's why she gets the big bucks.
It's not an app, though. It's not a app. What the It's not a app.
You kiss your mother with her mouth? My God. Watch Raw Caribbean TV app.
Watch Raw Caribbean TV app.
Yes.
It's not an app, though.
The Windward Islands Civil Servants Union Private Sector Union and Windward Islands Teachers Union have received praise from Ombudsman Gwendolyn Mussel for hosting a groundbreaking labor symposium under the theme Empowering Workers and Employers Know Your Rights, Build Your Future. Though currently abroad on work-related travel, Mussel applauded the unions for uniting the key stakeholders in labor relations and fostering vital discussions. Her legal advisor, Ms. Ashida Cecilia, delivered a strong presentation titled The Role of the Ombudsman in Labor Issues. The presentation addressed the importance of high council reports, challenges civil servants face in labor disputes, and the need for transparency, professionalism, and mutual respect in government-public interactions. Cecilia also noted that many civil servants feel undervalued, while employers struggle with bureaucracy issues that foster a culture of inefficiency. The symposium was hailed as a necessary step toward improving labor relations. We must build a culture of respect, accountability, and empowerment, said Cecilia, expressing hope that the dialogue will lead to real change in both public and private sectors.
A new nonprofit, the RISE Foundation, has been established in St. Martin by a group of young local professionals with over 30 years of combined experience in community development. The foundation focuses on uplifting vulnerable individuals and communities through 4 main programs. Co-founded by President Shira Bowers, Vice President Josiah Lamoth, Treasurer Priya Misir, and Secretary Kevin James, RISE aims to address gaps in support by partnering with organizations and listening closely to community needs. Programs include Elevate Youth and Family Development, which includes mentorship, scholarships, life skill workshops, and family support. Another project is RISE Ready, emergency preparedness and disaster response in collaboration with government agencies. third project, Rise Reach, support for unhoused persons, ex-offenders, and others facing hardship through meals, counseling, and coaching. And Season of Light, connecting community members to provide gifts and urgent help to underprivileged families. Partners like Nagico and Judicial and Institutional Services praise Rise for its community empowerment mission. The foundation is actively seeking volunteers and financial contributors to help build lasting change. To get involved, contact Rise Foundation at 584-7473 or team at risesxm.org and follow at RiseSXM on Facebook and YouTube or at rise.sxm on Instagram. Sister Marie Laurence Primary School recently participated in the 2025 National Catholic Education Association Conference in Florida, one of the largest private education gatherings in North America. Themed Be the Light, the event focused on guiding students, families, and communities towards success. The SML team engaged in workshops covering modern teaching techniques, inclusive education, student engagement, teacher development, and notably, the role of AI in education. Project manager Tanya Fredericks highlighted AI's benefits and challenges, stressing the need for balanced integration. Alongside the conference, Sister Marie Laurence visited Lakuchi Elementary School to build collaboration and share best practices. School manager Amari Slack expressed enthusiasm about implementing new ideas and continuing this partnership to improve student outcomes. The trip was funded by a Rotary Global grant supported by local and international Rotary clubs and aided by St. Leo's University, reinforcing strong educational ties.
Parents and guardians in St. Martin are urged to be vigilant about a troubling trend among youth: inhalant abuse or chroming. Common household items like make marker pens, nail polish, and polish removers are being abused and misused to achieve a quick high, causing severe health risk, including sudden sniffing death syndrome, SSDS. Dr. Tashina Thomas McCoo, director of Turning Point Foundation, stresses that prevention starts at home through open conversation and awareness. Inhalant abuse can cause respiratory problems, neurological effects, and even death, often after just one use. Parents should educate children about these dangers, monitor household products, and seek professional help if abuse is suspected. Resources like the National Institute on Drug Abuse and local support services are available for guidance. For more information, visit www.tpfsxm.com. That's all the time we have for today's edition of St. Martin News Desk.
Thank you again for joining us. Remember, new episodes premiere every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. on TV 15 across our social media platforms and all Alexa devices globally. I'm still Austin Lawrence.
And I'm Jasenia Lassero, wishing you an amazing weekend. See you next time.
And please stay friendly.
St. Martin.